Hi, welcome to Common Use Spurs TV, where we're going to do some headlines as well as do some preview of tomorrow's match against Wolves. What are we covering today? We're covering Destiny Udogie signing. We are looking at Romero's injury scare. We're also looking at the outcome of Conte and Tuchel clash post-match and the fallout from that. We're looking at departures from Spurs, Lo Celso to Villarreal, and Dembele to Napoli for his medical winks, going to being linked to Valencia and Everton, and also Fulham are also linked as well. Brangil to Valencia, and I think Pape Metesa is linked to some clubs in Italy. That should hopefully open the way for Malinowski, who's coming from Atlanta. That's what the rumors say. So, and then we'll also look at Mike Dean's admission as to why he gave well, he didn't give a foul against Romero in the match against Chelsea, and we'll also finally look at 10 years of Harry Kane in the Premier League since his debut, and before we look at a preview of tomorrow's match against Wolves with a 12 o'clock kickoff. So we're very much looking forward to all of that. Thank you so much. Welcome to Common Use Spurs TV. With me today, we have Chuma. Chuma and I are going to cover all things Spurs today. Chuma, how are you?
Oh, I'm very well, Susie. Happy Friday to Common Use Spurs Nation and family members out there.
Thank you. So much going on. So much going on. It's a busy week packed with all sorts of stuff going on. We have a Destiny Udogie, number 7 signing. Can you believe that? We have 7 signings this season. Can you believe that? Oh, wow.
Before the end of the window.
So we have Destiny Udogie, who's joining us from Udinese. Destiny is 19 years old, and he is going to be playing as a left back, but he's been loaned back to Udinese, his team, for the rest of the season. The reported fee is in the region of about £15 million plus add-ons. So yes, some people say we have enough left backs. We've got Perisic, we've got Sessegnon, we have Reguilon who's going on loan, and we also have this young man now who's also out on loan until the end of the season. Chuma, what do you think? Why are we having so many left backs?
well, the thing you have to note is Perisic is multi-positional. So the beauty of Perisic as well, if you watch the last, Perisic can play some position. He can play as a 10. So if you get this second left wing back over, you can still move Perisic around. So it works out so many levels as well. You have the youth player who is going to push Sessegnon, and you have Perisic who is like the god to both of them, teaching them how to the ropes. At the same time, Perisic can fill in the gaps for other players based on it's really going to improve Spurs' squad depth come next season. And there was a whole accusation of Spurs aging squad. They said Conte is building old people, but yeah, we have a 19-year-old, we have people under 25. Kulusevski, Sessegnon, we have a core of people that are under 25, 26, Romero, all of them that it can't be an old squad. It's young people. It's a rebuild like we were supposed to have under Pochettino. We're having it now. And I think they've made it very fine. He's a very talented young man.
Speaking of Romero, we had this injury scare.
And he speaks English as well.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, he's of Italian. Sorry, he's born in Italy to Nigerian parents. And we had this debate before this came on air. Some people say that he sounded like an Edo name, which is from southwest Nigeria. For those people who don't know so much about Nigeria, the old Midwest, if you like, that's what we like to say. And also, some people said that he's of Igbo origin, and it will be difficult to get the right pronunciation for his name. So if you know the right pronunciation, please leave a note in the comment section and let us know what the right pronunciation is. And if Destiny is listening to us wherever he is, he can provide us with the right pronunciation of his name. You know, we don't want to get it wrong. You know, more so that on Common Use Spurs TV, mostly of us are predominantly of Nigerian origin. So yes, so Common Use Spurs. It's one big family. Yeah, talking of Christian Romero. Christian Romero had a blast of a match. I mean, against Chelsea, and we had a bit of a scare saying that he was out for 3 to 4 weeks, and the chances are that he will be set to miss the matches against Wolves, against Fulham, against I think Forest. I think Forest, West Ham, and potentially City. However, I mean, most up-to-date reports are now saying that maybe that's not the case. He might just miss only the match, a couple of matches. I think 2 weeks is 10 days is what Mr. Conte reported at the last press conference. So that's a bit of good news. And as this talk on our platform or our forum, which was saying that okay, maybe Conte's grand plan was to take him out of the firing line to prevent focus on and attention on him, to give him a bit of time to cool down, you know, and basically just sort of calm things down a little bit. How true that is, no one really knows, you know. But I wouldn't rule out anything, you know, because it's one of these things where you sort of I mean, in the league we're in now, I mean, managers take everything into account, and as much as possible, they want to get the best out of their team. And if that involves giving a player a rest in order for the best interest of the rest of the team, so be it. What do you think, Chuma?
Yeah. So at first they said it was a muscle injury, but then Romero's camp refuted it by saying it was actually the stamp. This is ironic. The stamp that Cucurella made on his leg that caused the problem.
Right.
So if that's the case, then it's not a muscle problem. It's the Cucurella thing, and at the same time, so it adds some credence to more or less the revenge of the hair pull. You know, you injured me, so take that back, and it is. But in terms of moving him away from the firing line, interesting. It's an interesting hypothesis, I think. Interesting one, but
Yeah, no, right. I
I
mean,
think
so
Conte wants to win 2 matches altogether. So I don't think he'll take out his man if he wasn't really serious.
I know, right? So I mean, which brings us to the Thomas Tuchel and and Mr. Conte's clash post match. I mean, it just seems that there's so much fallout from that match against Chelsea. I mean, it ended up last week, and we're still talking about it on Friday. Come on, you know. Some people say just move on and don't let it sort of dominate the airwaves and stuff, you know. But the truth of the matter is that that's the nature of football, you know. I think how am I going to put this? We had what's the word, Mr. Tuchel, who, in my view, had a bit of a go at Conte, and it's just a natural reaction to being pulled back, you know. So yes, I mean, if I had to judge, okay, granted, I may be biased, you know, but they say they face an FA charge following the incident after the match. I'd like to hear a comment on these Spurs fans who are listening to this. You know, what do you think should happen to them? I don't think Conte had anything to do with it at all. If anything at all, I think Mr. Tuchel should bear the full brunt and feel full force of the law when it comes to this. What do you think, Chuma?
It's I think Thomas Tuchel has a love obsession with Conte because apparently his reasoning pulling him was you're meant to look into each other's eyes
I know, right?
when you shake. I've never really heard that before. So, it's a love.
He's like the enforcer.
It's
He's
good.
like the
He's
enforcer,
secretly
right?
in love with. He's secretly in love with Conte. I don't know. So it is. But I think it's just handbags. The FA would look at it, and it wasn't like no one really lost their lives. They didn't really bring the game into disrepute. It's a derby, and it's become what it used to be. It's not friendships. It's not, oh, I'm so sorry you lost. No, no, no. You're upset when you don't win. You're upset when you lose, and this is what it is. So this is what happens. All of them, Liverpool, Manchester United, is coming up. Klopp is not going to be friends with Ten Hag. Klopp isn't friends with Pep when it's a seriously heated match that's decisive. So it's what people do, and so if the FA charge, I'll be very surprised. If the FA give them any kind of lengthy bans, I'll be very, very surprised. I don't think it's warranted, but you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, as Conte was saying in his press conference yesterday, and that look, he doesn't expect a touchline ban, and I agree with him. I don't think he should get a touchline ban, if anything at all. I mean, if anyone should get a touchline ban, it should be Mr. Tuchel, because he was the aggressor in the incident in this case. So yes, I think we like we said before we came on air, we should all move on from this. I mean, the match is over. We won two. I mean, well, he ended up ended up drawing 2-2. It felt like we won 2-2. But yeah, sorry, 1-1 rather.
I mean, this is the first draw Spurs have ever had that I have seen rumble on for a week. Even when we lost, even when we drew with them in the Battle of the Bridge, the original Pochettino year,
Yeah.
it was done. We were thinking, how have we dropped points? How are we going to move forward? Leicester is breaking away. This one has no real impact. Both teams escaped unscathed and were both well positioned in the table. So I don't
Absolutely.
understand why, and especially from Spurs fans as well. I'm going to call out Spurs fans and say I don't understand why you're so hell bent on discussing why you should have lost.
I
You're
know,
not
right?
celebrating a draw. You're not celebrating escaping, snatching a draw from the jaws of defeat.
Defeat.
Instead, Spurs fans are arguing that you realize you're rubbish. We deserve to lose. I'm like, but you didn't lose. So why don't you just take that and move?
Yeah, a
But
lot of other teams would take your hand off and bite it off. Being in that position of not playing very well and coming up with some sort of results without having actually lost. I mean, lost the match. So I mean, I felt we gave it well. It wasn't that decent a performance, but we got the right result. So that's the key. And if you play well, if you don't play well and you get the results, that's what they call good. That's what good teams do. And we're pushing and I mean the team is improving by the day to become the sort of type, I mean, side we're looking at, whereby you can challenge for things and place ourselves in good position to go forward for the rest of the season. Now, coming up to, I mean, obviously, season end of the transfer window, we still have, okay, we bought in quite a lot of players. We bought in 7 players this season over the preseason. And the latest one was Destiny, like I said, even though it's gone back on loan, where a lot of departures which people are leaving the club. I mean, Dembele is away to Napoli on loan with an option to buy. The reports are also that Lo Celso is completed his move to Villarreal. Winks is been linked with Everton, but I think that move has fallen apart and is now being looked at by Fulham and I can't remember the other team now. And also we have Pape Matar, who's been looked at by Italian clubs, undisclosed Italian clubs. Brangil is reportedly been going to Valencia. So all of these moves are on the cards, and hopefully we will be able to complete them in the coming days. I mean, for me, 2 big losses, if you want to call them losses, because for the potential they had when we signed them on, and the fact that Ndombele was what I call it wasn't what I call it was actually a most expensive signing ever. Not to have come through in the way that we expected them to have come through is a big disappointment for me. And I mean, I liked Ndombele when we signed him on. I thought he was going to do great things coming on, but it just hasn't done the business. Regular, sorry, I forgot to add Regular. Regular has been linked with Atalanta as well. So yeah, so quite a lot of being shifted off our books, and hopefully to balance things out. So that's a plus, I guess. And yeah, we move on. I think the balance of the squad is right now. We've got almost like a player, so two players in every position who can challenge, and there's a lot of flexibility moving around straight from the back, right to the midfield, and to the front three. So that looks quite promising for the rest of the season. What are your thoughts, Chuma?
It's with Ndombele, it's seriously a question of these things happen. I used to work with a gentleman that always said to me that sometimes the spirit of the club and the expectations are too much for certain players. And when they go somewhere else, their spirit is greater than the club, so they function very well. I think that's probably the case with Ndombele. No one can deny the fact that he has technical gifts. No one can deny that he has an eye for a pass. But sometimes all these attributes don't come together on a consistent basis, and that's what makes a very good football player and a superstar player. Is the fact that all the attributes you have come together in one, and you're able to deliver this on a consistent basis. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to. Another disappointment for me was Giovanni Lo Celso, who I really liked, who I thought was going to really have a huge impact in Spurs. It didn't come to pass. I think with Brian Hill going to Valencia as well, I think that to me is an indication that he's going to be sold. This is just my personal opinion, because on a normal basis he should have been sent to a British club. There are Premier League clubs that Brian Hill could have been sent to if Spurs really had plans for him. But I think the consensus is they're going to sell him. So why not send him to the league where he will shine the most and get they can fetch as much of a fee back from him.
But if you say that,
Regular,
but if you say that though,
go on.
if we use that same logic, right, it means that why do we send back Destiny to Napoli? Why not give him to a Premier League club?
Oh no, but that one is different because with that one is different because his one is he's missed the preseason.
Right. Okay.
They're sending him back to his parent club because the deal was in order to seal the deal, they never really wanted to lose him in the first place. But they said, okay, we'll sell him to you on the fact that you can loan him back to us. So these deals are always done. It's not a problem.
Come on, carry on.
Oh yeah, so Destiny's case is different from Brian Hill's. Young player going back to his parent club, staying there for a year, then joining a preseason, a Conte preseason next season. It's a much better deal. Brian Hill is someone who has actually been assessed over a period of months by Antonio Conte and his coaches, and has now had a preseason. It tells you everything if he's been loaned out again and loaned out to a Spanish club and not an English club. I with his case, I think it's for me. I think, in my opinion, it speaks that he's leaving. And then Regulon, what I'm reading or what I've been researching this week is we're trying to get Malinowski from Atalanta
Right.
if the rumors are true. And Malinowski plays the same position as Kulusevski, but he also plays as an creative attacking midfielder. He can play central midfield as well a bit. And as a make weight to Atalanta, I think Atalanta want for full fee. Spurs apparently from allegedly going for a loan with an option to buy. So I think probably to sweeten the deal, Atalanta are a team that love wing backs the same way Conte does as well. So if they give them Regulon to maybe function as a left back for them or wing back for them, let's see if that works. So that's a rumor with Regulon as well. Pape Matesar was interesting AC Milan, same as Tanganga at the start of the window. But Milan now have, I think they've gotten a few signings as well, so that's died down. So, before we move on, I just want to say we had a recent addition to the Spurs, the Tottenham scouting setup, a gentleman by the name of Leonardo Gabellini, whom we've
Leonardo who?
collected from what Leonardo Gabellini.
Right. Okay.
So he's a new chief scout for Tottenham.
Right.
We got him from what. The key thing is he works for the Pozzo family. The Pozzo family are the football investment family that own Udinese, Watford, and Granada in Spain. So there's every link that we got there because of his connection as well. There are rumors to the effect that he's connected. And they're very good. The thing about this Porto family, they own these three clubs. They don't like spending big money on players, but they like to develop young talent and sell them. So this man's
Who does that
job is
remind
to
you of?
support young talent, and he's been very good.
I said, who does that remind you of?
Right off DV Street.
Exactly. So I think that would make for a great deal.
It's a Fabio signing. So Fabio is going to use him to scout for young players in Europe and bring them in, and then we can develop them. So that way it still works out quite well. So Destiny is the first of the project, apparently. So let's see how it goes.
I mean, we had, I mean, relatively good week so far. I mean, and also you get it tinged with all sorts of rumors and news of stuff that people sort of go up in the press. And yeah, people. I mean, you got that report in the Daily Mail of Mike Dean admitting that he should have sent the Cucurella hair pull to the on-field referee to have a look and see what he thought. You know, I mean, I don't know what you make of that, but I mean, in my view, I just thought it's handbags. Really, you know, it happens a lot in the box. People pull each other, and yeah, a lot of times six of one and half a dozen of the other. You know, what do you think?
You lose. Yeah, you lose. Like everybody gets this. If you're the team on the opposing side of that decision, you're always going to feel very hard done by. If that was Spurs and they tugged someone's hair, you'd feel hard done by because the equalizer came afterwards. So I can understand where it goes, but in terms of we are really pushing this, yesterday I was speaking to a Guna colleague of mine at work, and he was saying how now Mike Dean is a Spurs fan, and I was laughing because there's an infamous video of him supposedly celebrating the Spurs goal. So I was like, I said, come on, everyone knows Mike Dean. I think Mike Dean supports a lower division team, and we've seen him supporting them on video. But these things happen. It'll be good when it happens in favor of Chelsea.
It sells newspapers and makes for clickbaits, I guess. So I guess that's what a lot of these reports remind me of, honestly, because they don't really make any sense to me. I mean, anyway, there you go. Listen, we have had an amazing 10 years of Harry Kane as as a striker for us, and this is an amazing story on many levels. And I'll be the first to admit, I don't know about you, Chuma, but when Harry was being touted by what's that manager's name of ours now? Say that again. Tim Sherwood. Yeah, Tim Sherwood, right? So I thought to myself, what is it? What's he playing at? You know, we got Adebayo, who's a renowned striker. He's been there for years, and you're trying to bring in this young guy who, I mean, been to Leighton Orient and scoring a few goals there. But I'm thinking, Harry Kane could never lace the boots of Adebayo, in my view, at the time. And I'm happy to have been proven wrong. Honestly, I mean, Harry Kane has been absolutely phenomenal for us. I mean, I can't even begin to say how fantastic he's been. I mean, take a bow. I mean, it's like I have to sort of give him an absolute round of applause. He has been absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal is an understatement. Harry Kane. I mean, his stats are just keep coming and coming and coming, and he's getting better, breaking all records. I mean, scored the most in North London derbies. He's probably number 2 on the highest number of goal scorers in the league for Tottenham now. He's just, I mean, the stats are just amazing, you know. I mean, the rumor is that he doesn't score in August. He's broken that. You know, all Hurus are broken. He's just, yeah, Harry is just super. It's been super for us, superb. I mean, what do you think?
I think the mark of a very good player is that he surpasses the expectations of the fans.
Yeah,
And when he came in 2012-13 season, nobody would have expected this.
absolutely.
We had youth prospects that have come in and we see them and they leave, and I think in his set or his generation, I think it was Andros Townsend was looked upon as the one who would emerge, because Andros Townsend was this wing genius and he'd been in games and he'd done things and he scored on his debut for England. So everyone expected Andros Townsend to be the shining light from
From that generation, right?
from that generation. Yeah, you looked at him, he was the one head and shoulders above everybody else, more than Danny Rose, more than anyone else. And Harry Kane came in, and we'd heard the reports of him on loan. He hardly scored goals on loan,
Yeah.
even though he was a prodigious talent in the youth team. Everyone knew he scored goals, broke records in the youth team. But once he went out on loan and didn't really produce for whatever reason, it was looked upon like, okay. But Tim Sherwood was watching him game in, game out training. So Tim Sherwood believed in him. And as much as Spurs fans, a lot of us, I raise my hand to it. I deride Tim Sherwood. I would love to have a one-on-one conversation with Tim Sherwood to tell him why I think he went wrong. I expected great things from Tim Sherwood and he let me down. So, but one of the greatest things he did was introducing people like Kane, at the time also another talent that went the wrong way, Nabil Bentaleb. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
Bentaleb.
I remember Better Jackson. Yeah.
Bentaleb as well was another that came through. Ryan Mason came through the same period. And Tim Sherwood was the one that really pushed these young guys in. So you have to give him credit. But the thing about Kane that I find really amazing is I read this story about him in his first preseason under Pochettino, 14-15 season, when Adebayo was the starting striker. Soldado was there as well. And he came in and he thought he was pretty fit, only for Pochettino to tell him to weigh himself. And Pochettino told him, "You're overweight for what you need to do." And he took it upon himself to train as hard as possible, lost the weight, and he just everything Pochettino told him to do, he did it 10 times more. And he started scoring the Europa League games in that season. All of a sudden, we're like, "This boy is scoring Europa. Let's give him a chance." He took his chance by the scruff of the neck and has not
He
looked
really
back.
did. He really took this chance by the scruff of his neck, and he's been
He came in
absolutely
and as
wonderful.
soon as he was done, Adebayo was nothing. Soldado was nothing to us. We were like, look, forget those guys. How can we bless this Harry Kane guy? And
Yeah.
that's it. He's run with it since. Went to England. We said, oh, let's see. England will be too much of a step. Blitz England as well. And it's just, the same old thing happens where, the shame of it is he has no trophies to his name. That is always the blight on his CV, is that he has no trophies. But honestly, as a player, I couldn't be more proud of a striker that plays for a player who has worked on himself. There is just so much to say about a man who continuously works on himself. He doesn't think he has arrived. He's quite humble. A lot of people that know him, he always stops to do things for fans. He's involved in so many charitable activities as well. You don't hear any news about him outside of the game.
Yep.
You know,
He's
it's
super focused and a shining example of what a good striker should be. He's a credit to the club and to himself. He's amazing. He's just simply amazing. And yes, well done, Hurricane. We are super proud. Super proud. I mean, brings us to. I mean, we're playing Wolves at the weekend. Sorry, tomorrow rather. And honestly, I don't even know where to start for tomorrow. So, Wolves, Tottenham. What do you reckon?
So Wolves this season are quite interesting because if you remember under Nuno, they were playing three at the back or five, depending on how you weigh their formation. when the new coach came, he didn't change anything. Bruno Lage still played 3-4-3, 3-5-2, similar kind of thing. But this season has seen a shift. Their mainstay was their captain, who also became an England international player called Connor Cody. Connor Cody is gone. They've just loaned him out to Everton, option to buy.
Well, okay.
They've switched to a back four, and the results haven't been coming the way they should since they switched to this back four. So I think they're having like more or less trying to
Transitional
blend the
problems.
system and formation in a transition thing. Yes, exactly, a transition thing. So maybe it's the right time to meet Wolves, you know. But then again, their links to Portuguese players has now brought them a player called Matheus Nunes, who Spurs were linked with at one point as well, but several clubs were linked to him, to be fair. But a very gifted player, very, very gifted, very talented player. I think they've registered him in time to play this game. I'm hoping he doesn't play. I respect his talent that much to say I hope he doesn't play, and if he plays, I hope he has a stinker of a game.
Well,
But
I mean,
think
if we go by the records of those who have given themselves up in preseason or have some sort of reputation with them, about them rather, I mean, if we look at Aribo against us in Southampton, he's got a wonder goal in preseason. We was scared that it might give our defender some problems, It turned out to be, well, baseless in the end. So long may that continue, if you like. So please keep picking them up.
And then another hoodoo for Spurs, and this is the thing I'm saying. We've done the Battle of the Bridge 2.0 where we came out without playing our best on the draw.
Yep.
So another hoodoo Spurs has to bury is the midday games,
midday kickoff hoodoo, right?
matches. Those 12:30 games, Spurs have always notoriously been quite poor
not so good.
games, or never really rev themselves up and motivated themselves to take those games and win. So that's something else Conte has to change. That's another cultural thing that he has to end up killing. And I'm hoping for the best. I think it will be a very good game. The only absence on our part, as you know, is Romero because of the stamp/injury he has, but no other reports of thing. I heard Skip is back in training, I think.
Oh, good. So speaking of, I mean, starting lineups and the fact that we got Romero missing and options in terms of replacements, the easy, what I call straight sliding should be Sanchez, right? Now, Davinson Sanchez is been the cause of what I call plenty of chatter on our WhatsApp groups and on Spurs for across the globe, and some people don't particularly like him because they say he's prone to the error, the bounce of the ball, he panics, he doesn't have a calm composure, and sometimes he doesn't sort of have like what you might call an authoritative look about him like you'd have with the likes of Sanchez, so with the likes of Romero, right? Who just has this commanding presence, I mean, at the back, and he just doesn't take any nonsense from any striker or attacker, Now, if we look back at why we bought Sanchez in the first place from Ajax years ago, and it's amazing he's done 3 seasons at Spurs already. He's going on his 4th year, Now, some people will say that by now he should be like a senior player in the squad, and be able to sort of hold on his position. Now, I know that some people have this thing against Dyer as well, saying that, but for me, Dyer has improved a great deal under Antonio, and he's proven to be commanding in his position. He doesn't dive into tackles. He's just sort of, he has a way of sort of being able to read the game, and he even has the odd foray now going forward and even scoring goals. So yeah, I mean, that for me has improved a great deal. I would go for Sanchez for the simple reason that he just slots in nicely into the position that Mr. Romero plays. Now, the other option will be Langley. Langley is not a left-sided, it's not a right-sided player. He's a left-sided player. So, fielding him on the right-hand side in for Romero, for me, I'm not quite sure that's a wise thing to do. So yeah, I mean that's what I would do if I were. I mean, I'm not about coaching, but hey, the coach is no best. So yes, he's got options from that perspective. And also, if we look at the midfield, I mean, some people are saying that okay, he may well go for either a Busuma, Bentancur lineup, in the middle of the park, or a Bisuma Holberg lineup. I don't know. We'll see. Or it might change a few things around there. So we'll see what happens. Or it might even bring Perisic to start ahead of Session. So yes, so all of that options that we. But that's the picture of the squad we have now. We have options to change things. Depending on how things are going. I mean, what are your thoughts?
So, like you, I expect Davinson Sanchez to come in. My comment on Davinson Sanchez is quite simple. When he arrived at Spurs, I said this guy is built like Ledley King, and I wanted him to be Ledley King. And I thought someone like him should have been mentored by Ledley King. But it became quickly apparent that his technical skills, the ball at his feet, was not an advantage. He's fast, but in terms of, and now the thing about defenders now, central defenders in this modern age of football is you have to combine technicality with physicality. You
Absolutely.
see that very well. You see that shining example, beacon of that is Christian Romero. Christian Romero is quickly everyone's favorite central defender at Spurs because he's technically gifted. He's physical. He has that edge about him. Davinson Sanchez is the polar opposite. You are scared when he holds on to the ball for more than 5 to 10 seconds. When he brings the ball out, you're scared of him losing possession. When the ball is played in behind him, you're afraid of him making a sloppy mistake,
Yeah.
losing the flight of the ball. And it's improved, but at this stage of his career, it's either you have it or you don't. And I don't think he has it. I think he's a good squad player, but for where Spurs are aiming to get to, Davinson Sanchez would not necessarily, in my opinion, take us there. But he's good to have. And Antonio Conte recognizes that he has a fighting spirit in him because he has survived. To survive under Conte means you have something, even if it's not the skill, it's character. So he has a certain character, I think, Antonio Conte admires. He tries. Like I said to you guys last year, that they are the unables and the unwillings. And Antonio Conte doesn't mind if you're unable, so long as you are willing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the unwillings that he cannot stand.
Yeah.
So you can see that the ability isn't there, but the willingness to do his best for Spurs exists. So in that case, he slides in. I expected Tanganga to take him out of the game, but for whatever reason as well, Tanganga's progress has stalled.
Hmm.
So Tanganga isn't the, it's Davinson Sanchez for me. In midfield, the same as you said, I would look at Bissouma over Højbjerg. Højbjerg is, I like him. I think a lot of fans like him. They love him. They love the Viking spirit. And I think he gets an unusual amount of hate. I have also spewed some hate. So I'm not out of that thing. But my thing is I think he can be so much better than he is, and I don't know why he isn't. That's my opinion. I think he's a better player
Yeah,
than
I actually think
but
that if he cuts out the odd air, in fact, the thing with Højbjerg is maybe because of the position he plays, right? If he makes a mistake, it's always so glaring because if he loses the ball in key positions, it opens the back four to attack immediately. It gives the ball away in horrible positions when we're either attacking or we're trying to make a forward. Yeah, sometimes those elements of decision making are poor, but he still scored some goals though. He scored some important goals
he
as well.
scores some goals. He made some wonderful passes as well.
Exactly.
He's an excellent. So the thing about me for him is like I think this is just my opinion, and there are certain players in the history of the Premier League I've seen do this. They embrace this hard man thing, and it now becomes their identity. Oh, I'm a tough tackling midfielder. No, you could actually play. You could actually pass. Like without saying it, I'm not saying it to disrespect him or demean him. Roy Keane used to be, when he was at Forest, he was a gifted guy. He could pass, he could run with the ball. But when he came to United and Brian Robson and the rest of them, and he's like effort tackle, everyone now knew him as this tough tackling Roy Keane.
Yeah.
A lot of players start to embrace this hard man thing. And I think for a second, Højbjerg does that as well. He doesn't do that as much when he plays for Denmark. For Denmark, he's actually Denmark are a technical side. So he's actually passing more. When it comes to Spurs, he starts to doubt himself, I think, sometimes in games. So and I think Bissouma should be given a chance because I'm still going back to Bissouma's games against Spurs. for Brighton last year, where I think he schooled one man, schooled our midfield. He schooled our midfield before Bentancur arrived. Even when Bentancur arrived, he still schooled us. And I think Bissouma for me should be. But I'll give you a shock. I'll give you a shock one. I think Son should be dropped instead of
Right. Now
Richarlison.
that is something else I was going to come to, and the reason I was going to come to that is that because the first two games we had this season, he hasn't really covered himself in glory, even though he still got in some key positions and had a lot of shooting opportunities.
He has one assist for Dyer's goal, so he has one assist.
Say again?
He has one assist. He assisted Dyer's goal in the.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, and he had quite a few shots as well, So I think it's just evolving, and for me, he'll come good. I mean, Son for me is just phenomenal. So I mean, I guess because we've got competition for places in the squad now, there's no harm in let him take a seat. Maybe Richarlison comes on, or playing Richarlison, Kane and Kulusevski up front and see what happens, and then maybe that would make Son sit up and thinking, oh my goodness, my place is about to go on the starting 11, and they're like, come on, look at that. I mean, having Richarlison starts and you bring on Son for impact. I mean, come on, what better option could that be, So I think yes, it's a win-win for us if you like, if we let that happen,
I think if Richarlison starts, Richarlison is looking to get a goal. Richarlison is looking to get a goal. And if Son comes off the bench, Son is looking to score more than one.
Exactly. So so it's a win all around
so
for us.
For me, I think it will be very good. I think it will knock his pride. Yeah. It will knock his pride a bit and say, wow, really? You're dropping me? And Conte will say, no, it's a squad game, all that. But I think it will be such a kick up his backside. And not that Son needs it, but there are certain things he's been doing now. I'm like, this isn't you. You're a bit, you're a bit too anxious, you're a bit too desperate, or you're not thinking, outside the box anymore. You're used to what you do. You do this thing with Kane.
Yeah.
Let's see something else. And I think maybe sitting on the bench for 60 minutes, I think it will just jar him a bit. That's my opinion. But I wouldn't mind if he started. It's a game.
Yeah, you're right.
I also think, like I said, because of this shift to the back four, I think Wolves will be more open for Spurs. If they play back four against Spurs, I think they will be more open to.
I am looking forward to the game. I'm sure everyone else is looking forward to the game. This is Come On You Spurs TV. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and if you need to get notified anytime we go live, please click on the notification bell button that you see at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. So we look forward to seeing you, and it's been wonderful. We look forward to seeing you again. Let me just say to you that tomorrow after the match, we're going to have post-match reaction. We're going to have charts. We're going to have comments, analysis, and we have a 4-man panel. We'll let the participants be a surprise to us, and then yes, we'll look forward to seeing everyone join us tomorrow from 2:30 p.m. So kickoff is at 12:30, and from 2:30 we'll begin our live broadcast of post-match reaction on Come On You Sports TV. So we look forward to seeing you guys all. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.